MTC. Day 05, Number 1. In a study at Princeton University in 1992, research scientists looked at two different groups of mice. 1992. One group was made intellectually superior by modifying the gene for the glutamate receptor. Glutamate is a brain chemical that is necessary in learning. The other group was genetically manipulated to be intellectually inferior, also done by modifying the gene for the glutamate receptor. The smart mice were then raised in standard cages, while the inferior mice were raised in large cages with toys and exercise wheels and with lots of social interaction. At the end of the study, although the intellectually inferior mice were genetically handicapped, they were able to perform just as well as their genetic superiors. This was a real triumph for nurture over nature. Genes are turned on or off based on what is around you. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 05, Number 2. Researchers are working on a project that asks coastal towns how they are preparing for rising sea levels. Some towns have risk assessments, some towns even have a plan. But it's a rare town that is actually carrying out a plan. One reason we've failed to act on climate change is the common belief that it is far away in time and space. For decades, climate change was a prediction about the future, so scientists talked about it in the future tense. This became a habit so that even today many scientists still use the future tense, even though we know that a climate crisis is ongoing. Scientists also often focus on regions most affected by the crisis, such as Bangladesh or the West Antarctic ice sheet, which for most Americans are physically remote. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 05, Number 3. According to legend, once a vampire bites a person, that person turns into a vampire who seeks the blood of others. A researcher came up with some simple math, which proves that these highly popular creatures can't exist. University of Central Florida physics professor Kostas Efthimiou's work breaks down the myth. University of Central Florida Kostas Efthimiou. Suppose that on January 1, 1600, the human population was just over 500 million. 1600115. If the first vampire came into existence that day and bit one person a month, there would have been 2 vampires by February 1, 1600. 160021. A month later there would have been 4, the next month 8, then 16, and so on. In just 2.5 years, the original human population would all have become vampires with no humans left. 2. But look around you. Have vampires taken over the world? No, because there's no such thing. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 05, Number 4. Humans born without sight are not able to collect visual experiences, so they understand the world entirely through their other senses. As a result, people with blindness at birth develop an amazing ability to understand the world through the collection of experiences and memories that come from these non-visual senses. The dreams of a person who has been without sight since birth can be just as vivid and imaginative as those of someone with normal vision. They are unique, however, because their dreams are constructed from the non-visual experiences and memories they have collected. A person with normal vision will dream about a familiar friend using visual memories of shape, lighting, and color. But, a blind person will associate the same friend with a unique combination of experiences from their non-visual senses that act to represent that friend. In other words, people blind at birth have similar overall dreaming experiences even though they do not dream in pictures. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 05, Number 5. Despite all the high-tech devices that seem to deny the need for paper, paper use in the United States has nearly doubled recently. We now consume more paper than ever, 400 million tons globally and growing. 4. Paper is not the only resource that we are using more of. Technological advances often come with the promise of using fewer materials. However, the reality is that they have historically caused more materials use, making us dependent on more natural resources. The world now consumes far more stuff than it ever has. We use 27 times more industrial minerals, such as gold, copper, and rare metals, than we did just over a century ago. 127. We also each individually use more resources. Much of that is due to our high-tech lifestyle. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 05, number 6. Do you sometimes feel like you don't love your life? Like, deep inside, something is missing? That's because we are living someone else's life. We allow other people to influence our choices. We are trying to meet their expectations. Social pressure is deceiving. We are all impacted without noticing it. Before we realize we are losing ownership of our lives, we end up envying how other people live. Then, we can only see the greener grass. Ours is never good enough. To regain that passion for the life you want, you must recover control of your choices. No one but yourself can choose how you live. But, how? The first step to getting rid of expectations is to treat yourself kindly. You can't truly love other people if you don't love yourself first. When we accept who we are, there's no room for others' expectations. MTC. Good job.